Nested in the Horn of Africa and with a long coast in the Red Sea, Eritrea borders with Ethiopia in the south, Sudan in the west, and Djibouti in the southeast. Eritrea, its land area measures about 117,400 square kilometers, with the population stand at about 5.8 million, according to July 2016 estimates. Eritrea's capital Asmara, which was made the capital city of colonial Eritrea in preference to Massawa by the then Italian governor Martini in 1897. The city therefore bears many traces of Italian colonial era in its infrastructure, architecture, and some culinary traditions. At the very first session of the World Heritage Committee that took place on 7 July 2017 in Krakow, Poland, Asmara was inscribed UNESCO's World Heritage City. Eritrea had been independent from Ethiopia for just 5 years when the bloody border war broke out in 1998. This followed by the closure of 1,000 kilometers long Ethio-Eritrea common border. For the last 2 decades, a jumpy stalemate has been the law of the land on their borders. The conflict shattered family lives of millions of people on both sides of the border. The abrupt closure of the border all of a sudden dumped countless families found themselves split. For 2 decades, border standoff remained gridlocked. Ato Tesfalidet, a senior Eritrean, is among the million people suffering from the conflict. For so long, Ato Tesfalidet and most people had felt helpless in their condition and desperate for their future. No sign of reconciliation for nearly 20 years.
I came from Ethiopia in 1994 to work in Asmara. When my wife and my children died, I couldn't attend their funeral services. Due to the closure of the road, I couldn't attend their funeral. I've been out of work and I was in a big trouble at that time. I was very heartbroken and mentally I was in a shaky state that I couldn't see my family. We were despondent. The ramification of the entire incident actually pushed me to think of suicidal risk.
However, April has brought in new positive beginnings, with a fresh face to the table of Ethiopia's leadership. Yes, things are dramatically changing. Abiy Ahmed emerged as the new Prime Minister of Ethiopia. He endorsed genuine peace with Eritrea. In Asmara, Premier Abiy and Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki signed a historic peace accord to end the state of war. Both leaders agreed a joint declaration of peace and friendship between Ethiopia and Eritrea. They determined to close this very costly chapter, which also have a detrimental impact on the Horn of Africa. The reconciliation can be an ideal for others' roles that appear so stubborn. Eritrea and Ethiopia have found peace. There is a deal done and a deal made without any of the international players. Now, peace is broke out between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Peace is on the horizon. Families start to reunify. There were a passionate scene in Addis Ababa, Bole, and Asmara international airports following Ethiopian Airlines' resumption of its commercial flight to Eritrea capital. Words can never be enough to describe how the two brotherly people were feeling during the reunion. Exceptional smiles, hugs were everywhere among Ethiopians and Eritreans. Joyful emotions were all over. 3 months ago, this scene would have been unthinkable, but the two leaders have found ways to reverse the 2-decade stalemate in the matter of days. Above all, Premier Abiy's philosophy of reconciliation is positive son. The so-called Medemir has received acceptance by many Eritreans and Ethiopians.
I feel like something I can never describe. I don't have words to express the emotion. I have feel of mystery, just like its name, peace is peace. Disregarding all the loss over the past 20 years, we are joyful with the prevalence of peace. Welcome you all. We wish the peace to sustain, so we can live together in harmony.
Really, these people are one people with long history in common. We are one people, even in color and in family roots. So it's very amazing. It will widen the prospect for artists' work in Addis Ababa and Asmara. From now on, that will be preached.
God made Ethiopian and Eritrean people unified. We implore to remain united. I'm so happy and I wish peace and love to sway. It will be good to close eyes to all the past sufferings and think of the love and peace that is swing. Ethiopia and Eritrea are like mother and child, so the peace will make families reunion to come true.
My name is Samuel Dani, and I'm working in Asmara Airport. The arrival of Ethiopian Airlines today makes us so blissful. From now on, we are one, and we sum it up. We all are very cheerful, and love will triumph.
ህዝቡ በጎዳና ላይ በእግራችን በመንሄድበት ጊዜ ያሳየን ፍቅር ደግሞ
I found the love that Eritrean people have shown us on the streets of Asmara as a pushing gear to pay a special sacrifice. The past has already gone and we need to close that chapter. Therefore, a huge work is awaiting us to compensate the lost opportunities in the past. We have taken a big lesson from that. So I call upon to make the lessons realistic, thereby showing the world that Ethiopia and Eritreans are one people.
ለዓለም የበለጠ ማስመስከር የሚገባን ወቅት ላይ እንገኛለን።
I am ecstatic to have heard that about all of these news, and I'm just so happy that finally it's happening, and I just can't believe that I'm actually here while it's happening. So I'm thrilled. I have never visited. I've always wanted to visit, and now I can visit, and from Eritrea to Addis back and forth without any complication. I'm super happy about that.
It's good that Eritrea and Ethiopia have peace, and it can help us. Also, I like it because it brings love and we can cooperate better, and it makes it easier for us to go to Eritrea. For 20 years we haven't used this flight, and this shows that we are getting closer, so we're going to be cooperating more easily. And now people are able to go to Ethiopia easily and Eritrea. And the people who used to stay at the border now can leave back to their homes.
I came from England on holiday to Eritrea, and after 20 years of fighting, I'm very happy that Ethiopia and Eritrea are in peace now. And even I have many friends that are Ethiopian in England, and it's really happy. And it makes us really happy that we're in peace. And I hope that everyone, it's like now we all love each other, and it's very good. And yeah. And I hope everyone's in peace and no one really fights, since now we're like brothers and sisters.
For me to be part of this process is just something that I could always look back, and hopefully will be something that we could always remember in order to remind that we are really brothers and sisters, and that we should really look ourselves as how we could work together making ourselves better. I'm really impressed with Dr. Abiy, the way he's brought many people on both sides and having them change their way of thinking. So I'm euphoric.
I think it's good that they're making peace. They're not fighting, and it's really meaningful, and it makes me joyful that there's no war and everything, and I can finally visit where I'm from. Because I've never been able to do that before, and I really do think it's a good thing that they're opening flights so they can visit and interact with each other, and overall continue to make peace with each other.
I wish the two countries to work in cooperation and make the peace long-lasting. By the time I arrived at Bole Airport from Canada, I heard that flights from Addis Ababa to Eritrea is to embark on. I was so glad to hear that, and I bought the ticket to fly to Asmara without telling to any member of my family. It's my first time to be in Asmara. I don't know where I'm going in the city, but I was cheerful due to the return of love and the peace of the people. That's why I came here. Everyone sees you with a smile and euphoria, and everyone is your relation. Someone on the road was riding a bike, and I asked him for a help to show me for a restaurant. I asked him if he can speak Amharic. He answered me he can speak well, and he brought me to this restaurant. I thought the people in the restaurant might not speak Amharic, but the owner assured me that she can speak Amharic well. They accommodated me like a highly honored guest. I was so glad by their divine accommodation, and I'm here since yesterday. I will be back to Addis on Monday, but surely in the future Asmara will be my visit place.
She is an Ethiopian, and I'm so glad when Ethiopians are coming to my restaurant. We have the same food, same language and color with Ethiopians, so I'm happy when they are coming.
I'm thankful to Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and President Isaias Afwerki for everything they did. I can't believe Abiy is a man. Rather, he is a Messiah sent by God. I'm so happy with the existing peace, and now my face turned brighter.
It's my daughter's wedding. For me, it's double happiness. One is the wedding of my daughter, and the other is the prevalence of peace. I want you to greet the people of Ethiopia on my behalf. I'm so delighted. We observed that the past mishap was fatal, but now God offered us the peace. We are brothers. Our color, appearance, and everything is the same. There is no solution from war and standoff. The pragmatic solution is obtained only from peace.
We are so thrilled with the existing peace. From the very outset, the war was unnecessary, and we are praying the peace to be long-lasting. The people of Ethiopia and Eritrea have no any space for hatred and retaliation. And I'm grateful for the two leaders who brought us to this peace.
While the impact of the war has been felt far more in Eritrea than in Ethiopia, somewhat it is also apparent in Tigray and other regional states bordering Eritrea. There have been a little appetite for investment due to security issues, no likelihood for cross-border trade, and even main streets of Asmara appears to be desolated. This time, Ethiopian and Eritrean business communities come together to revitalize trade activities between the two countries once again.
The coming of Ethiopian business community to Eritrea is more delightful because the business communities of the two countries have shouldered huge role and responsibility of building national economies on their respective countries.
The relationship that we will create now is to boost up on how to share Ethiopia's and Eritrean potential resources for the best benefit of two people and on how to strengthen border trade. On this due course, we will focus on enhancing people-to-people relations and wealth creation.
Our embassy is already opened and Ethiopian embassy will be opened soon in Asmara. The prime duty of the embassies will be facilitating trade apart from people-to-people relations. After that, the two countries will sign trade protocols.
Ethiopian investors are ready to invest in Eritrea. Your Honorable Mr. Tadesse on the upcoming forum, hopefully, you'll let us know details of the areas of investment in the state of Eritrea.
Eritrea's port has become increasingly attractive, mainly as cognition, storage issues and connecting infrastructure continue to flood Djibouti port. Ethiopia is diversifying its port access as its economy continues registering fast growth. Ethiopia therefore will likely looking to re-engage with Eritrea ports of Asab and Massawa. That is why Ethiopian business delegation recently visited the port of Massawa to synchronize the opportunity right there. Eritrea on its part expressed its readiness to serve Ethiopia's import and export communities.
For all Ethiopian business delegation members, we have given explanation on the port service to have clarity on its overall facility on the top of visiting the port of Massawa.
On the basis of two countries, one people, there are a lot of opportunities that can benefit the two sides. The northern part of Ethiopia, through the use of the port of Massawa, there it has a possibility for both people to grow together economically. We were using the port before, so it's not new for us. The port can have substantial capacity to give a better service. However, the port has to make ready itself in order to have a room for the high demand and flow from Ethiopia.
I have seen the port of Massawa. The port with its existing facility is somehow good. If the port further overhaul with the additional logistics, it can render sound port service for Tigray and Amara regional states, both in terms of cost and time.
In order to persuade Ethiopian demands, the port needs huge investment. If so, the port can assure the northern part of Ethiopia in providing with more than enough services.
In fact, the port has already been expanded to export potash, and it has adequate facilities and skilled manpower. But we are considering further expansion of the port, following the vast demand from Ethiopia, and we are ready for that.
The ongoing Ethio-Eritrean talk deserves to be commended for economic and political advantages it will create. But the Ethiopian government needs to carefully scale the economic and geopolitical implication of future contracts. Assuming the resolution of the border dispute leads to a meaningful reapproachment between Ethiopia and Eritrea, the two countries have managed to offer each other. Realizing these opportunities, however, will be a demanding task for both leaders.